Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Mueller. I'm Dean for Medical Education, and this is the 23rd Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai White Coat Ceremony. Keep the chat, congratulations, and the love coming. It's really beautiful to see all of your sentiments being posted there. I'm at home on quarantine, so unfortunately not in a white coat as much as I'd like to be. And I want to just a couple of introductory remarks before we start the actual ceremony today. So medical school, as you all know, has always been a trial by fire. On top of the pace and intensity of the material you have to learn, the responsibility of caring for patients and their families is always daunting. Patients expect us to figure out what's wrong with them. They expect us to develop diagnostic and treatment tools that will cure them, or at least help them feel better, teach and counsel them, reassure and support them at the most vulnerable moments of their lives. We now find ourselves as a profession trying to do all of that at a time in this nation's history that has so many intersecting threads of uncertainty. A global pandemic of COVID-19, a national pandemic of racism, a political landscape that has the potential to tear this country apart. Can we see the light at the end of the tunnel? Are we over the worst of it, or is the worst yet to come? No one knows the answer, but there are things that we know with great certainty. Your class is ushering in a new dawn of medicine. Nothing will ever be the same again. COVID-19 has transformed science. Black Lives Matter is transforming our racial justice discourse. The presidential election will reshape the way we structure, pay for, and prioritize the health of our nation. Your class, like no class before you, will have to display the courage, the fortitude, the activism it will take to make sure that America comes out of this better than ever before, that science and medicine never again disproportionately benefit white America over Americans of color, and that any challenge we face in the coming years forges ever stronger bonds between us as individuals, as a school, and as a profession. There are stormy seas ahead, but the wind is in our sails, and if we strive together, nothing can stop us. Thank you and welcome to the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. Before we continue, a few things to know about the ceremony itself. We will be controlling sound and participation so everyone can engage in the ceremony. We ask that you do not unmute yourself unless specifically requested. At this time, we will hear from one of our 2020 Hans Popper MD PhD keynote speakers. We have two speakers this year, Drs. Mary Nwoswocha and Katherine Lozada. Given the impact of SARS-CoV-2 on our learning environment this year, we have asked recent graduates to address the first-year class to share their experiences and offer inspiration as our students embark on their medical training. We hope these accomplished graduates can provide valuable insight as your class starts its journey in the midst of this public health crisis. Dr. Nwoswocha graduated from the Icahn School of Medicine in 2019. While at Icahn, Mary was inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society and worked on several initiatives with the Admissions Committee and the Center for Multicultural and Community Affairs. She also collaborated with admissions on a research project related to the impact of social media on medical school admissions. She was the vice president of the Mount Sinai chapter of the Student National Medical Association and an organizer of the student affinity group LGBTQ People in Medicine. A first-generation American and an accomplished clarinet player, Mary has been highly successful across multiple arenas. An avid powerlifter, Mary has been featured in BuzzFeed, an internet-based digital media news outlet, on finding her place in powerlifting, and became an advisory board member of the Women's Strength Coalition, a nonprofit organization that supports gyms that want to increase access to strength training for underserved communities. Mentored by Dr. Dennis Charney, Mary is also the co-president of Sinai Strong, where she teaches powerlifting and advises administrators on gym layout and equipment. Mary is currently a PGY2 in the Department of Psychiatry at Mount Sinai Hospital and will finish her training in psychiatry in 2023. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Mary Nwoswocha. Mary, don't forget to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mueller. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Welcome, class of 2024. You know, I actually think you all are quite remarkable sitting in the position you are right now, despite being on Zoom and not in Stern Auditorium as usual. There was a time back in March when I asked myself, would I still accept my medical school admission offer if I knew that in my first year as a physician, I would be facing the worst pandemic in 100 years? Would I still want to be a doctor knowing that my job would require risking my life every day and seeing my colleagues who would become good friends fight for their own lives? Initially, I had no idea what my answer would be. I was more than halfway through my first year of psychiatry residency in March when suddenly the entire world turned upside down, and so did our hospital. It was all hands on deck, with almost every department being reassigned to care for COVID patients. Many of my colleagues in psychiatry joined the COVID medicine teams or worked in the emergency department. Instead of completing my scheduled neurology rotation, I came back to inpatient psychiatry, where we set up a mini COVID unit for psychiatrically ill patients with COVID. In addition to the obvious risk of getting infected, caring for COVID positive psychiatric patients presented additional challenges. I had to figure out how to ensure that an agitated patient who produces a lot of respiratory droplets doesn't infect me and my colleagues, or how to help a disorganized patient understand the concept of social distancing while they struggle with something as basic as their own hygiene. Having to wear a gown, a mask, and a face shield made establishing rapport with already paranoid patients even more difficult. Caring for a COVID positive patient with schizophrenia became the ultimate challenge for me. His mother, who was his caregiver, had been hospitalized with COVID, and in this context, his mental illness worsened. He was in denial of his and his mother's COVID status, and he was mistrustful of us. We had been back and forth about getting him to take his medicine and eat and take care of himself. I knew that he needed to hear his mother's voice in order to feel safe. As he was a COVID patient, he couldn't use the patient phones on the unit, so I gowned up, held my cell phone up to him on speaker mode, and he was so unbelievably happy to hear from his mother, and it was a big step in the process of getting him well. So yes, it was a scary time. It was scary working with this and other COVID patients, and certainly scary using my own cell phone to facilitate this conversation, and of course, took the extra care to disinfect it afterwards. But it was then that I realized that the answer to my imaginary question of whether I would accept my medical school offer of admission, the answer was a resounding yes. Yes, because I believe I am here to help other people at their most vulnerable, to use my skills and responsibilities to serve my patients. And I'd say that you all are remarkable in your position because you've already answered yes. And you've already answered yes, and I want to commend you all for that. But now, here comes the hard part. You need to remember your why and hold on to it. Over the next several years, as you grow into yourselves as doctors, there will be many challenges to your values. And while it's important to grow and refine those values, it's important to hold on to the core of why you are here. Congratulations to the class of 2024, and welcome to the rewarding field of medicine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nosvocha. Our second keynote speaker today is Dr. Katherine Lozada. Dr. Lozada is a 2020 graduate of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. During her time here, she was involved in several student activities that sought to engage the academic community, the local community, as well as the global community. Most notably, she co-led a group called the Harm Reduction Coalition, which aimed to provide education and training around opiate use and opiate overdoses. Kathleen also led a group of students to Haiti to engage in near-peer teaching of emergency medicine skills to medical students at the Université Quisqueya. Kathleen served as the class of 2020 mistreatment representative for 2 years. Her unique interests in global health, social medicine, physician wellness, and high acuity care culminated in Kathleen choosing emergency medicine as her specialty. She is currently in her first year of residency in emergency medicine at Mount Sinai Hospital and is so thrilled to be staying within the Sinai family. You will hear Dr. Lozada's remarks a bit later during our video presentation. And it is now my pleasure to introduce that video presentation, which includes remarks from Mr. Richard Friedman, co-chairman of the Board of Trustees of Mount Sinai Health System, Dr. Kenneth Davis, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Mount Sinai Health System, and Dr. Dennis Charney, Ann and Joel Ehrenkrantz, Dean, Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, and President for Academic Affairs of the Mount Sinai Health System, as well as our second keynote speaker, Dr. Katherine Lozada. This will be followed by the students' coding videos. Please enjoy the presentation and see you back here in a few.
It's my pleasure to welcome the class of 2024 to the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. I'm Rich Friedman, co-chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Mount Sinai Health System. I know how proud your parents are because I'm the parent of a Mount Sinai graduate. 9 years ago, I watched my son receive his white coat. Back then, as a proud father and as a member of the Board of Trustees, I knew Mount Sinai was a special place. But now, a year as co-chairman, after seeing my son's experience as both a student and a Mount Sinai resident, and after our courageous response to the COVID-19 epidemic, my appreciation and passion for Mount Sinai has risen to new heights. It is no exaggeration to say your predecessors, the physicians who received their white coats during this ceremony, are now American heroes. Society has a new appreciation for the hard work required to become a doctor and the dedication needed to care for people at the worst moments of their lives. Mount Sinai frontline workers bravely treated a constant flow of COVID-19 patients in March, April, May, and June. They saved thousands of lives. This is what medicine's all about. This is why you've chosen to be here, to make a difference in the world. What could be more inspiring as you put on your white coats for the first time? I speak for every member of the Board of Trustees when I say we admire your choice of profession, and we applaud your decision to study at Mount Sinai. The trustees care deeply about our students. That's why last year we approved the Enhanced Scholarship Initiative to ensure no qualifying student will graduate with more than $75,000 worth of debt. The trustees also care deeply about our patients and our healthcare professionals. Through the COVID-19 crisis, trustees worked tirelessly to support our frontline workers. We flew in PPE from China, arranged free hotel rooms, childcare, food, and transportation. The speed and depth of the board's response to the crisis speaks loudly about the type of place Mount Sinai is. Facing unimaginable adversity, we responded as a team supporting each other. Now is an auspicious moment to be at Mount Sinai, not only because of our COVID-19 response, but also because of the pace of discovery in our laboratories. Technology is rapidly accelerating advancements in biomedicine. This gives me hope that next year there will be a vaccine for COVID-19 and that once again we'll celebrate important moments like this in person rather than virtually. Your white coats represent a future rich with promise. The education you'll receive here at Mount Sinai will empower you to save lives, to uncover biomedical breakthroughs, and to reshape the future of healthcare. Congratulations on starting a thrilling journey at a time when society desperately needs brilliant and dedicated physicians. I wish you the very best of luck.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you are all staying healthy and safe and being careful. We're meeting at an extraordinary time. This has been a year unlike any other, a year of suffering and survival. A year that has seen some of the worst days, but also some of the best days of humanity. And now our country finds itself in a season of great tension and turmoil. How did we get here? There are many causes and no shortage of opinions. But there is one thing I know for sure, and that is the way in which we will get out of it. We will get to be a better place through science. We will get to be a better place through a respect for facts and a respect for each other. So we are meeting at an extraordinary time. And I also want you to know that we're meeting at an extraordinary place. That's because the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai is unique. Our medical school was not born of a university, but of a hospital. What does that mean? A medical school that does not share resources with a law school, a business school, or undergraduate colleges. Such a medical school is one that can focus fully on its students, on you. A medical school focused on science and its students is one well-positioned to lead in therapeutics and diagnostics. That is exactly what we have done this year, coming out with the first antibody test for the novel coronavirus. We established ourselves at the forefront of convalescent plasma, and we summoned in those difficult days a spirit of solidarity and selflessness that will always be a proud part of Mount Sinai's legacy. Everyone you'll meet at Mount Sinai, in the faculty and the administration, in the lab and exam room, and everywhere else, you should know that their top commitment and concern is to our school, and you are the center of that school. You are our top educational priority. Our mission is to maximize your potential, to give you the space to find your passion, and to support you from the moment you put on your white coat and throughout your career. What will you do with that opportunity? What will you pursue? What will you discover? Who will you collaborate with to do great things? It's all in your hands. These values are the core of the institution you are now a part of: science, solidarity, and our students. You are here because we know you share a belief in these values, and because you do, we believe in you. You could not be joining us at a more important time. Our profession needs you, our patients need you, our country needs you. We're so excited to welcome you and to work with you. And in the near future, I look forward to being a part of a real, not virtual, meeting with you.
Members of the Board of Trustees, family, friends, faculty, and class of 2024, welcome to the White Coat Ceremony at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. Although we are conducting this event remotely today, I want to reassure you all that we are celebrating with you 100% this incredible journey that you, our newest class of medical students, is beginning. The COVID-19 pandemic imparts special meaning on today's White Coat ceremony. The pandemic has had a profound impact on both lay individuals and medical professionals perceive the disease and their own personal safety. The entire world is placing high expectations on institutions such as Mount Sinai to find solutions that will make us feel safe again. As you settle into your lives as Mount Sinai medical students, this is what I know about you. I know you are brilliant. I know you are hardworking. I know you are passionate. And I know you hunger for knowledge. I know you come from a diversity of backgrounds, culturally, ethnically, and geographically, to name a few. And such differences will enrich the experience of your entire class. Over the next 4 years, your immersion into our innovative curriculum, our research, and extracurricular activities will create bonds that will last a lifetime. Your time as medical students at Mount Sinai will shape you as a person and as a physician and scientist. By accepting Mount Sinai's offer of admission, you confirmed your commitment to becoming physicians, scientists, and advocates for societal change. Some of you made your decision before the pandemic hit, and some after. But regardless of the timeline, sticking with that decision and participating in today's ceremony is a testament to your determination to literally change the world of medicine and scientific discovery. By joining the entering class, you have made a bold and selfless statement. You are ready to learn. You are prepared to fight to improve the health of our population. Whether this means conquering COVID or tackling other serious medical problems that need answers. Let me tell you a few things about the school that you have chosen. It has been my privilege to be Dean of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai for over 13 years. During my tenure, I have always been impressed by our excellent students and trainees our outstanding faculty, and dedicated staff. But this past spring, the entire response of the entire Mount Sinai community to the pandemic was nothing short of incredible. When COVID-19 reached New York City, Mount Sinai physicians, nurses, trainees, and support teams, with little warning or time for preparation, demonstrated unbelievable expertise and courage, perseverance, and ingenuity. Applying every tool in their clinical armament, they cared for an endless stream of very sick patients, ignoring the risks to their own health in order to treat those in need. And while our clinicians battled COVID-19 on the front lines, at the very same time, our scientists tirelessly studied the virus and worked closely with our clinicians to find better ways of fighting this deadly virus. They made fundamental discoveries, such as developing the world's best antibody assay and identifying that anticoagulation, convalescent plasma, and monitoring the immune response can markedly improve outcomes. They saved lives. Our people worked through their exhaustion, and they worked through their fear. They did not stand down. In fact, for many, this has been a defining career and personal moment as they provided the best possible care for patients, fought the virus, and developed new strategies for healing. Let me emphasize, they are heroes in every sense of the word. This is your Mount Sinai. These same amazing people will be your teachers, mentors, and role models. You have joined a medical school in which rising to challenges is the norm, not the exception. Courage in the face of personal risk. Character molded by adversity. Each day at Mount Sinai is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and each other, and to test our individual and collective limits and capabilities. And I know this is why you joined us. Rest assured that we at Mount Sinai will be there for you. When you have questions, we will do our best to answer them. We will listen when you need to talk. We will work with you through moments of intense pressure and frustrations. And we will support you as you pursue righteous causes such as social justice and equity. I guarantee you will emerge from this experience a better, stronger, and more capable person, ready to take on more than you ever imagined. Today, as you don your white coat, this seemingly simple act carries enormous symbolism. You are training to join one of the greatest professions in the world, one in which demands that you apply your intelligence, your grit, your compassion, and your creativity towards being a problem solver, a listener, a healer. And we who have trained before you will be there to high-five you when things go well, to encourage you in moments of self-doubt, and to provide comfort when things are tough. That is the Mount Sinai way. Class of 2024, welcome to the wonderful community of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai, a place where dreams come true. Thank you.
Hello to all of the faculty, staff, clinicians, and students at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. It is so wonderful to have the opportunity to speak with you all, and I sincerely wish that I could see you in person today. My name is Katherine Lozada, and I'm a former Mount Sinai graduate and current intern at the Emergency Medicine Residency Program at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. Well, it's been a really strange year, hasn't it? It's not hard to imagine that many of you felt some cognitive dissonance as you finalized your acceptance to medical school during precisely the same time when being a healthcare professional is compared to being a soldier on a battlefield. You have worked tirelessly for the last 4 years, maybe even a decade, to get to this very place now. And it probably doesn't look like you pictured it. I can relate. Similarly to you all, I went through a transition into a new role in healthcare during a really intimidating and uncertain time. I graduated medical school early to support the healthcare workers on the front lines against COVID-19 in April of 2020. As you might imagine, this was not an easy decision for me to make, but maybe not in the way you might think. During March of 2020, the month when many of my classmates and I would find out where we would match for residency, a defining moment in any doctor's career, our beloved city and its workers were being slammed relentlessly by the COVID-19 pandemic. Myself and many other medical students around New York started to feel really uncomfortable with the idea of sitting on our hands at home while we had a valuable set of clinical knowledge and skills that we could use to support the overburdened healthcare workers on the front lines and our communities of patients. As driven people, like medical students, that's you, always do, I saw my classmates begin to organize in response to this need. They created a student-led workforce that collaborated directly with hospital administrators to identify areas across our hospital system in which medical students could offer support and fill in any gaps. Within literal weeks, Mount Sinai's medical students had implemented teams to carry out telehealth visits, assist in hospital pharmacies, distribute personal protective equipment to our staff and communities, and much, much more. And so during a moment in time where many New Yorkers and Americans alike found themselves wishing they could do something, myself and many of my extraordinary classmates woke up every day with an important job to do. By the end of this month, with the threat of our city experiencing a shortage of doctors with no certain end in sight to this pandemic, Governor Cuomo announced that he would be signing an executive order to allow fourth-year medical students to graduate early and work as doctors. I found myself making a difficult decision. How can I help the most? Am I more valuable in this fight by continuing my work as a medical student or leaping over the line and joining the forces on the front line? So ultimately, I decided to graduate early in the hopes that I could be as productive as a physician while knowing that those medical students remaining in the front lines and the workforce would continue to do an excellent job of supporting our healthcare system. I tell you this story because I want to emphasize the following. Being a medical student is powerful, it's honorable, it's invaluable. You are now in a position where you can use your incredible intelligence, empathy, diversity, cultural competence, and mighty will to make a difference in our community. Your white coat will give you an admission ticket to the most incredible and complex field in the world. It will signal to others that you are trustworthy, you are hardworking, and you will likely go above and beyond to help. It will also offer you the ability to influence people and who otherwise may not hear or see you. I remember every single time that I wore my white coat to take a stand, whether that was in a demonstration against gun violence or to support vulnerable protesters during a White Coats for Black Lives March. The white coat was my badge and shield. I trust that you all came to the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai because you want to use your white coat to make a difference. And I am truly honored and that someday I will be amongst you all as alumni from this institution. Welcome and congratulations to the class of 2024.
My white coat means
My white coat means
My white coat means a commitment to lifelong learning.
that I'm finally accomplishing my dreams of becoming a doctor.
I've now been entrusted with the honor and responsibility of caring for future patients.
Interweaving research and medicine to help heal my patients.
Representation. It means seeing it to believe it for so many Black and brown children in America.
the responsibility and the privilege to take care of patients, both big and small.
To use my voice to advocate for change.
As a way for me to break down barriers as a Black physician and contribute to a more equitable and just healthcare system.
The start of a career that I'll have for the rest of my life.
Hope and humility as I strive to approach every patient encounter with a deep sense of empathy.
The possibility for myself to advocate, protect, and serve, and the possibility for my future patients for health, happiness, and hope.
My white coat means saving lives and building healthier and happier communities.
The opportunity to give back to the communities that helped get me here.
It's my commitment and determination to help all people in need.
My white coat means the start of a journey full of curiosity, lifelong learning, and the relentless pursuit of helping all members of our society.
It means courage, competence, humility, and love.
My white coat means I'm one step closer towards bringing more visibility and representation to my immigrant community.
It's having the power to give access to both those seeking healthcare and to those who want to be a part of it.
It's gratitude. I am immensely grateful for this opportunity to learn and practice medicine.
My white coat means being a part of a community of past, present, and future physicians, all working to achieve a common goal.
My white coat means furthering accurate and inclusive science in these critical times.
My white coat means I have the opportunity to support and find answers for future patients.
It's the start of the dream I've had my entire life, finally coming true.
Donning this coat, I challenge myself to work to fill the gaps in compassion, service, and ethical treatment that exist in this field.
My white coat means that my existence is resistance.
A lot of hard work. It represents support from my friends and family, and it represents an opportunity to serve and make the world just a little bit better.
Hi, my name is Cunningham, and I'm the Senior Associate Dean for Student Affairs here at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome our friends and family to today's ceremony. Today is as important for our friends and family as it is for our students. And I have an ask for the friends and families attending today's ceremony. Your support over the next several years is absolutely critical to your students' success. We can't do the job alone to support your students through this journey of medicine, and we look forward to building a relationship with you over these next few years. So on behalf of the Office of Student Affairs, I now have the pleasure of presenting the 10 physicians who will be assisting in today's coding ceremony. We honor these physicians who exemplify the outstanding teaching, mentor, and clinical care here at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai.
Hello, I'm Dr. Allison Galt, Assistant Professor in the Jack and Lucy Clark Department of Pediatrics. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Uchechukwu Amakiri, Nestor Bedoya, Jonathan DeLay, Jack Gedoldig, Rachel Gologorski, Abigail Katz, Simran Malhotra, Benjamin Osseroff, Jeff Beck, Harley Roberts, Francesca Silvestri, Rachel Todd, Christopher White, Emily Shu, Alexis Zackham. Congratulations to the class of 2024. Welcome to the Sinai family. We are so happy to have you here.
Hello, I am Dr. Caroline Cromwell, Assistant Professor in the Samuel Brofman Department of Medicine. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Billy Bien, Susmita Chanradi, Christopher D. Vita, Samuel Eitenbichler, Kevin Griffey, Sonia Karana, Helen Liu, Ali Morgan, Nicholas Pitaro, Emma Reeford, Lucas Ritzer, Julian Saki, Justin Tiao, and Jacqueline Wallace. Congratulations to every one of you. I'm so happy to be on this journey with you.
Hello, I am Dr. Meredith Grossman, Assistant Professor in the Jack and Lucy Clark Department of Pediatrics. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. David Alalay, Lauren Alpert, Jurl Catlett, Danielle Chalutz, Sumanth Chenareddy, Logan Cho, Jacob Dexter Meldrum, Miriam Frisch, Eugene Roberchuk, Elizabeth McGill, Jennifer Wren, Sweta Sudhir, Jack Zhang. Congratulations, class of 2024. Welcome to the Mount Sinai family.
Hello, I'm Dr. Monica Dweck, Associate Professor in the Department of Ophthalmology and Director of Career Planning Services for the Department of Medical Education. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Ava Adler, Ambriana Arnius, Amina Avril, Anna Bleck, Tyler Davidio, Navindra David, Annalise Egger, Philip Hansen, Savruta Iravanti, Chardonnay Paget, Charlotte Pierce, Amit Pujari, Isaiah Smoller, Nicholas Venturini, Stephanie Ying, and Jerry Zhu. I want to congratulate all of you on your acceptance to Mount Sinai Medical School, and I wish you the best of luck with your studies.
Hello, I'm Dr. Craig Katz, Clinical Professor in the Department of Psychiatry. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Zakaria Chakrani, Jan Kolon Iban, Eden David, Bethany Dubois, Eliza Gross, Skylar Hess, Yonatan Israel, Martina Kakalis, Kala Kilnani, Anish Kumar, Colin Lamb, Haley Raymond, Rishab Rivankar, and Roshan Vasoya. Good luck, guys. Welcome to Mount Sinai. I see how great you are already. I really do, and I see how great you're going to be. Keep up the great work.
Hello, I am Dr. Maria Maldonado, Associate Professor in the Samuel Bronfman Department of Medicine. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Liam Butler, Candida Damian, James Fleming, Mika Levy, Lily McCarthy, Stephen McCroskey, Krishna Patel, Nathaniel Safran, Juyeon Shin, Stephanie Urenia, Brett Weingart, Sarah Wetzler, Amber Wolf, Brandon Yeshua. Congratulations and welcome to the Mount Sinai family.
Hello, I am Dr. Sharon Edwards, Associate Professor in the Jack and Lucy Clark Department of Pediatrics and Medical Education. As a faculty advisor of the following students, I'm proud to call upon their names to be coded. Husni Alasadi, Brianna Banashevsky, Kalista Domini, Miguel Gomez, Roshini Caligara, Thomas Lee, Christine Lopez, Zahava Michelson, Adriana Perot, Andrew Rotzowitz, Kush Shah, Jacob Sherman, Daniela Suarez Rebling, and Joseph Vlastos. Congratulations. I'm so excited you're here.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alicia Hurtado, Associate Dean for Medical Student Wellbeing and Student Affairs and Assistant Professor in the Department of Psychiatry. As a faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Lily Ardante, Zerubbabel Asfal, Brennan Chu, Lily Cohen, Celestine Ha, Michael Herrera, Lior Levin, Addison Quiñones, Jeanette Rios, Jay Sangavi, Remington Schneider, Serena Tolani, Claire Ufangene, David Youssef. Congratulations and welcome to the Mount Sinai community.
Hello, I'm Dr. Roberto Posada, Associate Professor in the Jack and Lucy Clark Department of Pediatrics. As the faculty advisor of the following students, I am proud to call upon their names to be coded. Arman Azad, Albert Bai, Caroline Benson, Paige Clunan, Janet Coleman Bellin, Mahela Guguli Maragoda, Benjamin Gross, Carly Kaplan, Katie Link, Isabel Lopera, Inés Rajasekaran, Horacio Romero Castillo, Justin Tang, Rebecca Zhou, Congratulations to the class of 2024.
Hello, I'm Dr. Talia Swartz, Assistant Professor in the Samuel Bronfman Department of Medicine. As faculty advisor of the following students, I'm proud to call upon their names to be coded. Nima Assad, Winnie Chen, Khadijah Crawford, Jeremy Fisher, Jake Herb, Joy Jiang, Audrey Lee, Jesse Mangold, Alexandra Mills, Christian Porras, Alexander Tepper, Sarah Weitzman. Congratulations, everyone.
The process of our students developing their own medical student oath arose from their proposing it as a way of assuming immediate and powerful ownership of their professional development. From that characteristically wonderful idea arose the student oath ratification process our medical students have been participating in for the last 8 years. During one of their first sessions in the Art and Science of Medicine course, as they were getting to know one another and getting to know Mount Sinai, our first-year medical students worked together in each of their small groups to reach consensus on a single phrase or sentence that best captures the professional ideal to which their group most aspires. These typically range from how they resolve to treat their patients and one another to how they intend to contribute to the field of medicine and the world at large. This yields as many ideals as there are groups, which is usually around 18 ideals. Representatives from each of these groups and myself then meet, and I facilitate a discussion by which we consolidate the ideas into the oath. This part of the process varies somewhat from year to year based on the approach of that year's students and the way the ideas blend, but it all happens somehow in the course of an afternoon. It usually involves wordsmithing, blending overlapping ambitions into a single ideal, putting the ideals into a format suitable for reciting, adding any aspirations the representatives feel are missing, and then reading it aloud together to make sure the oath both reads and sounds appropriately inspirational. I admit I am always amazed and even relieved that this process works so well each year, even this year when it occurred via Zoom, like so much else. Nevertheless, it is a testament to the greatness of not just what our students aspire to, but also of who they are. Will the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai class of 2024 please unmute yourself and join me as we recite your student oath, which can be found in your program. I ask that everyone else please remain muted. Students, read with me. We begin our medical careers in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and its striking as Black Lives Matter country, millions of people are unemployed, facing eviction. The last few months have taught us that protecting the health of our patients is as much a social responsibility as a biomedical practice. As advocates, our own humility in facing the magnitude of the inequities in our patients. Recognizing the moment, our chosen profession comes to medicine.
Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, 2024.
To limit our training,
consistently ally with our patients.
Medicine for every patient to the best of our ability, regardless of any individual characteristics, memberships, or ability to pay. Our fullest attention to address patients' concerns, meet their individuality,
provide care with empathy.
Appreciate the impact that socioeconomic and other structural forces have on the health of our patients and communities, and knowledge their service in public health.
As agents for
Service agents of social justice against healthcare,
care and equity, police brutality, violence,
citizens. We view this activism as integral to the profession of physicians.
Embrace a collective
As we bring collective
response to their community, COVID-19 pandemic,
healthcare
public health behavior, this experience from our purpose, and leaders in our field who value and partner with all who contribute to our patients' health. Pursue lifelong learning with wonder and curiosity. To the well-being and individual identity,
Selves and colleagues.
recognition,
So
it is with stubborn optimism
and love for humanity that we strive to embody these ideals and to
advance the field of medicine.
Stubborn optimism and a love for humanity.
Stubborn optimism and a love of humanity.
Okay, at this time, we ask that the students please mute themselves. Just as the medical student oath was written and ratified by the Icahn School of Medicine class of 2024, our faculty participated in a similar process several years ago, by which they discussed and submitted what they considered their highest ideals as medical educators. These ideals were then incorporated into the Mount Sinai Medical Educator Oath, which we will recite today. I now ask all faculty members of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai to unmute themselves and join me in the Medical Educator Oath, which can be found in the program. Colleagues, read with me. The mission of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai is to produce physicians and scientists who are prepared to enter society as informed advocates and advocates who are able to advance clinical care in science and promote change. We, the faculty, seek to embody this mission and so pledge the following to you, our students, in our effort to help you to become the best possible physicians and your best possible selves, to serve as models of caring, competent, and unbiased care of our patients, to engage you in the joy and privilege of practicing the art and science of medicine and the rewards of learning life, to uphold the highest standards in scientific and medical research, to inspire you to respect the art and science, but also to question the status quo, to recognize that our opportunity also our opportunity to learn, to not just teach, but also nurture, to share both our craft and ourselves, to demonstrate that self-examination is examinations, to be kind in evaluating you and ourselves, to never lose sight of our wellness and the wellness of all those around us, to have the courage to stand up to the oppressed and vulnerable and against prejudice and racism in all that we do, to be aware of our own biases and those around us and strive to eliminate them, to meet you where you are and to get you where you want to be. And finally, to never forget as physicians, scientists, and educators, what we know as human beings. Thank you for allowing me to lead these meaningful vows. Congratulations, class of 2024. At this time, I ask that everyone unmute themselves so we can all present a cheer to the class for receiving their new white coats. In addition, students, please share your parents, family, and members and friends who have helped you achieve the goal we all celebrate today.
Allowing you
Jackie!
Yes!
Congratulations!
Jay, go Jay! Jay, go Jay!
All of you guys!
Kevin!
Sorry! That Meldon, guys!
This is
Go, Bob!
¡Felicidades!
You won't be sorry!
That's good. Glad you hear that.
I did. Congratulations, Amy.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jack.
Congratulations.
All right. I just want to say for the record that it was not me who muted everyone in the middle of that joyous, crazy noise that was just so uplifting. Somebody else muted everyone. I do not want that on my conscience, but I have to follow my cue. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to our amazing students and to your wonderful loved ones, families, friends, everyone who has contributed to getting us all here today. Thank you to Dr. Katz for guiding this process to such a wonderful conclusion every year. I want to thank the Department of Medical Education staff, especially Sam and our production crew for their hard work over the last few months to make this such a perfect ceremony. I also want to recognize the Mount Sinai Alumni Association for their continued support of the White Coat ceremony every year. We are incredibly grateful to the alumni community for their generosity in sponsoring the purchase of our students' stethoscopes, their white coats, a lot of distance learning resources. It is especially important to know that we can count on our alumni to enrich the student environment, both philanthropically and academically. Please join me in thanking the Alumni Association and its members. We will now begin the Faculty and Wellness Advisor meet and greet breakout sessions for the students. Students, you will be notified to enter a breakout room shortly. We also invite all parents, loved ones in attendance to join us tomorrow, Wednesday, October 14th, from 2 to 3 p.m. to a session called Navigating Medical School During a Pandemic. The session is sponsored by the Mount Sinai Office of Alumni and Development and will be hosted online. I hope you have received an invitation via email and will be able to join us tomorrow. And with that, this concludes the 23rd Annual Icahn School of Medicine Mount Sinai White Coat Ceremony. Thank you and congratulations to all.